It's been too long.
Hey guys, this is HBK Cran and today we are making a video about the Kuva Lich. So there has been a lot of struggles I've seen in the recruiting chat, in the clan chat, even in the Discord. So I wanted to take this time to make this video and kind of like show everybody step by step what you need and how you actually do the Kuva Liches and what's the end thing that you are kind of like going for as well. So we're going to try to cover all of that in this video and I hope this helps you guys out. There's only one prerequisite for getting the Kuva Liches, and that is the completion of the War Within quest. This you can achieve by getting to the Sedna Junction to unlock this quest. Now, in order to kill the Kuva Lich, you need Requiem Mods. So there's only two ways to farm the Requiem Relics, which give you the Requiem Mods. One is if you go to your alert section and you'll see like the Kuva Siphons, but the Kuva Flood is what is guaranteed drop for the Requiem Relic. Whereas the others, there is a chance of the Requiem Relics. So you don't actually even have to finish the Kuva Flood part, so like getting the Kuva. You just need to finish the mission and you will get the Requiem Relic. The other part is by going into the mission where the Kuva Lich is. And there are these enemies that are called the Thralls, which we will see in a bit. And once you assassinate them, they have a chance of dropping the Requiem Relics as well. And the last option, you can either buy the Requiem Relics or you can just simply get the Requiem Mods, which would be a lot easier. The highest price for the Requiem Mods is 8 to 10 plat. That's the highest I've seen it go. Once you have attained the Requiem Relics, you simply can come over here into the Void Relic segment and you'll notice that you have the relics right here. So there is a Requiem 1, 2, 3, and 4. You kind of need all these relics in order to get all the mods that are inside them. So if I go to Requiem 1, you'll notice that there is Zata and then Lok. Then there's the Requiem 2, it has Vom and Jahu. And then there is a Requiem Relic 3, which has the Fast and Riz. And the last one, Requiem 4, has Kra and Netra. So you need these mods in order to finish the Kuva Lich.
I find you, I take you, like plucking fruit from a tree.
Now, if we come to the mod section, I want to show you guys a few things about the Requiem mods. Now, first of all, they're limited uses. So if I show you guys right here, you'll notice that there are 3 dots right under Jahu. But if I go to Kra, and you'll notice that there's only 1 dot. So each time you assassinate a Kuva Lich or you convert it or whatnot, it will use one of those dots. And that way it will become defiled after 3 uses. After that, what you do is you come over here to the mod section and you'll need 4 of those to transmute a Requiem. So if you transmute them, you'll get a random one back. So I did like a lot of them, but just for the sake of video, I wanted to show you guys that like you can keep getting these mods like even after you have used them. One of the cool things that happened with the update were the introduction of the Requiem Ultimatum. It is a beacon which you can equip into your gear wheel. And let's say you go into a mission and your Kuva Lich is not spawning. This can be used to spawn your Kuva Lich right away. This can be dropped by assassinating them, so there's a drop chance, it's not guaranteed. The other thing that came out was the Ool mod. What it basically does is it mimics any of the Requiem mods which you either don't have or there's a pattern that you need to fill out. The Ool mod will do it for you. And that's what we're going to move on next. The final step before the encounter is upgrading your Parazon. So initially you might have noticed that you only have 3 slots. But once you have acquired Requiem mods, 3 more will appear. Each of them actually represents a health bar of the Lich. So you need to make sure that you have the right order in order to successfully kill the Lich or convert the Lich. Now that is actually random, but once you acquire a Lich, you need to collect Murmurr in order to identify which are the Requiem mods that are required to kill the boss. Now, if you have Ool, I highly recommend putting that in the first slot. Why? Because if you can kind of like figure out what the middle one is in the beginning, you can actually switch that between the first or the third one in order to increase your chances of doing the Kuva Lich faster successfully. Now, there are 8 Requiem mods. You have 1 in an 8 chance that it could be Kra in the middle, 1 in an 8 chance that it could be Fast, and it goes for the remainder 6 as well. Sure, you have like a setup like this, or you can even have it like this. It's completely up to you, however you want it.
I think they're scared. Comrades, are they scared? I think they're scared.
Lastly, the most important thing out of all of them, because after going through all of that, you want the right weapon with the right element. So what you have to do is you need to pick your choice of the weapon that you want. So for instance, let's say you want Kuva Brahma and you want like heat on it or cold on it. So what you will need is like the Chroma, Ember, Inaros, Neja, Protea, Vabin, or Wisp in order to get that heat element on that weapon that of your choice. After the selection of your progenitor, all you have to do is go to Saturn and Cassini to acquire your first Kuva Lich. Once you have killed the captured target, you'll notice that after killing a few of the Greniers, the screen will flicker. That means the Kuva Larving has appeared. Now at that point, what happens is that you will actually need to kill 10 of these Greniers within 60 seconds for that Kuva Larving to appear. One mistake people make in the beginning or when they're doing their Lich for the first time, and I kind of like did the same, is the Kuva Larving, you don't need to mercy kill it right away. Just wait for it to go down and you'll notice a weapon popping on top of its head. So this one is the melee weapon for the Kuva. Now, if you don't want this weapon, you can exit the mission, come back in again, and keep doing this until you get the weapon of your choice. And it can take a little bit of a time sometimes, so you will just have to like bear with it. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go with this weapon so we can move along. Now once you return, once you have acquired your Kuva Lich, you'll notice that there's a symbol right next to the Nightwave intermission. If you click it, it will bring you to your active Kuva Lich interface. There are only a few things that you need to actually consider over here. One is this bar right here, which is indifferent at the moment. So there are missions that we're going to do, and there are enemies known as thralls that are the minions of this Lich. Once you start assassinating them, this Lich is going to start getting enraged. And at one point when you see over here fuming and enraged, at that point he will spawn in any one of those missions. The other thing to know over here are its weaknesses, resistances, and immunities. Also, what people focus on are weapon bonuses. I highly recommend, if you have anything above 50%, try to sell it for platinum, and anything below 50, keep it for yourself, and then you can Valence Fuse them for later on. Otherwise, there is one more thing is if your Kuva Lich has an ephemera, some people don't even care what type of weapon bonus it is because they can just Valence Fuse themselves as well. The last thing you need to know over here is this thing right here. Do not take this as the symbols of your Lich. This is actually mods from your Parazon that you have put on. As you have seen earlier, I put Uul and then these other two mods. What you need to focus on is while you're going to be killing those thralls, they're going to give you a thing called Murmurr. Those will fill up these circles right here, and once this whole circle is filled up, it will tell you one of the symbols of these mods. Now, if you notice that on Earth, there is a cloud on top of it, so that means that's where your Lich is. So with the new update, it's only on one planet, which means that there will be other people that are there. So you have like 3 things that you could do. Either go to the recruiting chat, go to your clan, or ask your friends to help you out, or you can even try your luck in public lobby. So for instance, if I go into exterminate, and I'll notice there's a squad there. Once in the mission, you'll notice that there are enemies with the Kuva Lich symbols on them. Simply mercy kill them and you will start getting your Requiem Murmurs. So once the circle is completely filled, you will find out what your Requiem mods are. Again, like I said earlier, that there is a way for you to get Requiem Relics from here as well. So some thralls have a drop chance of dropping that. Now the other thing is your Kuva Lich dropping. So it could drop whether it is fuming, enraged, or just drop as it is, or you can use your Requiem Ultimatum beacons to drop them. But the benefit of going into a squad is actually that, like for instance right here, somebody else's Kuva Lich spawned. And what does that do is that it will give you an extensive amount of Murmurr. Way more than the thralls do. So as you're like gonna be assassinating your Kuva Lich, you'll notice the mods that you put on your Parazon are right here. So the first one was Uul, so Uul will always be right if it's the first one. Now if I go for the second one, I had craw, but that's wrong. And you'll see a slash icon on it. Now if you go to your interface, and you'll notice that in the known Requiem section, we have Zata. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Parazon right here. And in the first one, you'll notice that that's an X. So this one will never be in the middle. So make sure whether you put it on the first one or the second one, either way, it is your choice. So we're going to go with Zata and put that into the middle. Over here, instead of 1, now you see rank 2. What difference does that do? So here, if you notice that there are no more red clouds on Earth, and it has moved to Mars. So now I'll be doing the same thing I did on Earth, but this time on Mars now, because your Kuva Lich has gone up a rank. So now we can check that we got our second one, which is the Netra, and let's go equip that in our Parazon. So again, it is completely your choice whether you want it to be in the first place or the second one. So what I'll do is, just because we know 2 of them now, I'll just put Ul in the middle and see if Zata is our first one. So Ul, if it's on the first one, it will always be like lit. It won't be like X like this. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that you have the right order, because it could be like this and this could be the correct order, or Ul would come over here to mimic whatever I'm missing as my third one. So keep that in mind. I kind of got really lucky over here because my second order that I put in, as I was mentioning earlier, it was actually the right order. So you'll notice when I take down the liches first time, so if you take down the health first time and you know that the mod that you put in there, it turns blue like that, that means it's the right one to be there. So never move that from there. Then I did the second one and I mentioned it was Ul. So whether you put Ul on the first, second, or the third slot, it will always be the right one because it mimics any mod that is supposed to be in that mod slot. So never take Ul as the right order until you see it completing. So here the second one was Ul, so it is correct. So I had my fingers crossed over here. And on my third one, actually it turned out that Netra was the right one over there. And you'll notice on the bottom those red dots, so once you have completed it, it will disappear. With the new update, now the Kuvas actually go to the Saturn Proxima, and for that you need to have access to a Railjack and a rank 5 intrinsic. You need to get intrinsics to rank 5. What that means is either tactical, piloting, gunnery, engineering, or command. You need to have any one of them to rank 5. You get intrinsics by doing missions from Railjack, and once you have that, you apply them over here. So you just need to have one to rank 5, not all of them. After you have gone into the mission, you'll have to do the mission tasks outside the Railjack. Once done, go inside and confront your Kuva Lich. If you are in a squad of 4, you'll need to do 4 times the Kuva Liches, which increases your chance obviously to get those ultimatum drops and all those like the Ul drops and everything. So it kind of like is beneficial if you're doing it in squad. Once your Lich is down, this time what I did was I converted. When you convert, you can actually trade that weapon with other players. If you vanquish it, you get the weapon just for yourself and they're not tradable. So if you go to your codex and go to universe, you'll see your Kuva Lich section is right here. And if you click it, you'll notice all the Kuva Lich you ever faced. So there is a section for vanquished, all the ones that you have killed, all the ones you converted, but this one means the ones that you have in your inventory and you haven't traded them yet. And then lastly, the one that you have traded. Which brings us to the final part of the video, which is the Valence Fusion of these Kuva weapons. Now if you notice, I have a 5 Formud Kuva Nucor with basically 55.3% radiation, which is very high. Now, if I were to use this rank 0 and it has like heat on it, like 41.8%, I would be giving up 5 Formas alongside with maxing out the Kuva weapon for the first time. So you don't need to do that. How? So if we go right here and upgrade it, you'll notice into the action section, there's the Valence Fusion. When you click it, you'll see that I have 2 new cores right here which I can choose from. So I'm going to choose the 39.3% because the other heat, I'm going to use it for a different type of build I'm going for. So if I click it, you get 2 options. Now, this is what you need to remember. Whether you pick radiation or heat, it doesn't matter at this point during the Valence Fusion. How does that work? Option 1, we have 55.3% radiation, 39.3% heat, which comes out to 60% radiation, which is kind of like what I'm intending to do here. But let's say I wanted heat. I didn't want that radiation. So I go to Valence Fusion, and this time, instead of selecting radiation, option 1, I'm going to select option 2. Here, again, you'll notice that it's 55.3% radiation, 39.3% heat, and now it's giving me 60% heat, which means you don't need to get a new weapon and level it up from scratch because you wanted a different element on it. So sometimes people have messed up with their progenitors. So imagine having impact on your Kuva core, right? And you were like, okay, I messed that up. So don't fret. You can always do this to make it easier for yourself. So now I'm going to go ahead and fuse them together to get my 60% radiation. And you'll see that Valence Fusion is successful and that the element has appeared over here and my bonus has gone up and the damage as well.
Anyone can hack someone to pieces, but it takes a goddess to put themselves back together again.
So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can leave it in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, guys. And if you guys need help, there is a Discord. I'll share the link for the Discord below as well. We have an active clan. We're always helping out people as well. So if you, anytime you need help, you have questions, you can feel free to ask at any time. So thank you so much, guys, once again for watching. This is HBK Grant taking off for the day. Have a great one, guys. Take it easy.